Let's do a gun tier list. Let's go. I'm excited. I haven't done one of these in a while. So let's see how everything ends up here. We'll start off with the Deadeye, the D3DI, which is Talon's DMR and Fixer's. Fixer's not in comp play, so I haven't seen that in a while. I know how the gun acts on Fixer, though, and I want absolutely nothing to do with it. If Fixer was in competitive right now, this is where the gun would be, but if he's not. So it's basically just rating this on Talon, and Talon's played on a decent chunk of the maps, and on a smaller portion, he uses the Deadeye. I think this gun's a solid A tier right now. It's strong, but you can still use his SMG. So it's still it's not like, for a gun to be S tier, I think every time you pick the character, every time you pick the character, you're picking that gun, and that gun is strong, which I'll explain when I get to the gun. All right, now we have the MLX Maw, which is Anvils Lmg. This gun is, if you hit all headshots of this gun, you instant kill people. It's so strong. I feel like this gun's overlooked by a lot of people, partly because the Arbitrator's on him, but I think this gun's actually broken, like so strong. I don't know why we don't see it used more. Like, it kills people so fast, especially if you hit the headshots. It joins the A tier easily. Now we have the MXR, which I explained this while we were doing the chat tier list. I think this gun is still good. It's just not as good as it used to be, because it used to be broken, and it's good at the things it shouldn't be good at. The gun is now like a short to medium range DMR, and it doesn't do good long range. But isn't a DMR meant to be good long range and suck close range? Like, why is it hitting for 20s long range, but I can shit on an SMG close range still? I just don't think that's how it should work. But I think it's still okay. It belongs in the B tier. It's okay. It's not great. Now we have the 24S. It is Lancer's SMG. The gun is probably the worst SMG. I think it's C tier. Lancer's use of it makes it good, but the gun itself, I know you wanted me to rate it with the character, but the gun itself is really bad. The only reason it's good is because you're shooting people in the back with the gun. That's the only reason it kills people. Think about all of these guns down here facing each other. Think about, the 24S facing any of the other guns. It loses almost all of those gunfights. The only reason that it gets a lot of kills is because it's shooting people in the back and not the front. That's pretty much it. All right, the Arbitrator. With Scorch, it's up here. With Anvil, it's down here. Next patch with Anvil, it's down here. And with Scorch, it's still up here. So I think a solid middle ground for the gun is A tier. And I know that it's broken, and it is absolutely broken on Factory and Favelas. But on Factory... Wait, did I put it? Is that the wrong gun? No, it's the right gun. On Factory and Favelas, the gun is absolutely S++++. But the gun is also on Anvil, and it's not that strong on Anvil. I think the gun's solid A tier overall. Now we have the Arin. Phantom's DMR. Well, it was Phantom's DMR. Now it's Seeker's DMR. And I think this gun gets overlooked a lot just because it has a scope. But everybody was using the Saint AR when it had a scope. So I'm surprised people haven't went to try this yet. It's the fastest killing DMR in the game. I think it absolutely belongs in the top tier, second highest tier. It belongs in the A tier. Like, it's really strong. It's just nobody's using it. And I don't know why. I think maybe that will change with Seeker, but maybe not. We'll see. Depends on how strong the Sahara is, to be honest. Because the reason that most people didn't use it on Phantom is because she already had a scoped sniper. So there's literally no point in using it. Now we have the D40c Chox Smg. I think that this is a solid B tier weapon. But I think SMGs as a whole... You know what? I'm going to make a change here. I'm going to make 24S in the D tier. I think it's one of the worst SMGs in the game. But the only reason it does work is because it's on Lancer. I'm going to put the D40c down to C tier. I don't think SMGs are that strong the way the game is played right now. I don't think SMGs are strong. Think about every single gunfight you have got into in the last week on Rogue Company. And so, like, the max range ones and the close range ones. 90% of these guns beat these guns in 90% of the time if it's a gunfight. So that's why I put them there. If you take the HRM close range, it can compete with the SMGs. You take the HRM long range, it obviously destroys the SMGs. These guns cannot compete with 90% of the guns at medium to long range, and all these guns are still competitive with them close range. That's why they're down there. The Devotion, it's A tier. You can 2-tap people. It's like, if you're accurate, like, you're just the best. Like, it's strong. It's very strong. The HRM, I think this gun's really strong too. Like, I do. I really think this gun is strong. I think the HRM is an S tier gun in the next patch. Dallas and Trench both have this gun. They're both going to buy it majority of the time. This gun is good. It's really good. And I think people will realize it more as we go into this next patch. The KA-30. KA-30 is Ronin and Dima's AR. It is pretty strong. Do I think... I don't know. I think anybody could put it here, could put it here, or could put it here. And I really wouldn't argue that much, to be honest. I really wouldn't. I think... Here's the thing. If Ronin and Dima are playable, it's going to be up here. Like, if they're played a lot. But I think A tier is the safest bet for the gun right now. It's just very balanced. But I don't know. It could go anywhere from S to B, and I can't argue it. So I'm just going to put it in the middle of those. I think that's the fairest thing to do. All right, now we got the LMP, and the LMP is the king of average. I'm going to put it into the B tier. It's literally the king of average. It is average at short range. It's average at medium range. It can even compete sometimes in long range. It literally does everything average. It doesn't do anything the best, but it doesn't do anything the worst. It's literally the most average thing in the history of video games. So it's B tier, which is average. All right, the Phantom Sniper, if you're accurate, it's obviously an A tier. Anything that one shots has to be in the higher tiers. Guns that one shot in the third person game where you can pre-aim and do so much of that, like having the ability to one shot somebody is just something that you can't ignore. So that's where it's going. That's here. Mamba. I think the Mamba is on Saint and it's on Dima. On Dima, you have the K30, which is a strong AR. And on Saint, you have the Mark IV, which is a strong AR as well. Why would you... The Mamba is a good gun. I really do think it is. But I think it's too situational where the guns... I think that the Mamba is too situational at the moment where the KA-30 and the Mark IV are very versatile, so you can use them in all areas. The Mamba is not used for all areas. So I think that the Mamba is B tier, but partly because the Mark IV and the KA-30 are both good at all ranges, and the Mamba isn't, so it's going to be picked behind those. Now it brings me straight to the Mark IV, which I think goes into... I think it goes S tier. I think Mamba's an S tier. The Mark IV is an S tier weapon. I think that it is just so strong now without the scope. It's good at all. You can kill people at all ranges and absolutely destroy them with it. Like it's one of the best guns in the game. It's on the S- side, but it's still good. Nightshade, S tier. Same thing as the Mark IV. Good at all ranges. Fries people. Competes with SMGs. Better than the SMG's close range. Can beat AR's long range. It does everything. Objection. SMG. D tier, not good. You literally can only use this gun if you are holding hand. You have to literally, if I can't reach out and touch the player I'm fighting, it will not kill them fast enough. It also, why would you buy the pistol can kill just as fast at the close range? Like, you don't need it. I just think it's useless. I think it sucks. The S12 Tactical, I think it's good on Vi. I don't think it's good on... I don't even remember what other character... It's not good on Vi. It's good on Sigrid. That's what I meant. It's not good on Vi, but it is good on Sigrid. But at the end of the day, when Sigrid is going to make her plays, she's going to have her shield up and not be using the gun anyway. It's a C tier weapon. The SLK6 or the SKL6 Chox shotgun, whichever one that is. This gun sucks. It's really inconsistent. But it is fun to use. When you land those headshots and one-shot people, that gun is awesome. But it doesn't always do that. SLC, this gun shreds. But it's not good long range, so it stays in the A tier. because it obviously has weaknesses. It's really only good if you can. It's not an arm's length, but it doesn't go much further than that. Like on Ronin, like I would love to use this gun on Ronin, but if you can't shoot the dart with your. It's so hard to shoot the, like if you obviously you know how I play Ronin or anybody plays Ronin. You throw the dart and shoot it. With the SMG, you can't really do that all the time, so that hurts. But the gun is really strong. I think it's solid A tier. The Lancer shotgun, it's shit. It's awful. The tier sniper, 2 shots in the body. It's obviously in the S tier. It's so good. It literally is a 2-shot body shot to everybody. It is broken still, and always will be. Forever. The Knight gets some hate, you know. I think the Knight gets a lot of hate. It's a decent gun. It's not the best gun, but it's a decent gun. It goes into the same category as the Mamba, where this gun is good, but it just has it has another gun on the same character that outperforms it, so you don't need it. We'll go through Sahara last. The Riptide's S tier. Like this gun, they're all like are all really hard to challenge on the map. They're all good. The Riptide is I didn't like it on PTS, but then it came to live servers, and I don't even remember if they changed anything, but wow, did that gun hit, and it hits hard. It's really good. Lastly, the Sahara. I had a lot of mixed signals on how this gun was when I was feeling with it on PTS. I felt like I was frying with it 1 minute, next minute I sucked. Next minute I was frying, next minute I sucked. We'll have to test it more, but for now, I'm going to put it into the B tier with an opportunity to go up or maybe even go down. Probably not, but with the opportunity to go up. So I think this is how the guns rank right now. I'm ranking these guns in, say, like, these guns looking at each, like, if this gun looks at this gun in a gunfight, this one's going to win. This gun looks at this gun in a gunfight, this gun's going to win. In majority of situations is what I mean, too. It's not like, all right, put them against each other long range. Obviously, Sahara's going to win. Well, obviously. But if you put them in all situations, this gun will win majority over this gun. That's what I'm talking about. So that's how I rated the guns. And there you go.